Well, welcome back, my friend, to the final video in our series on how to build your first AI agent. We've come a long way, and in this video, all we're going to do is take our agent and put it onto our website. Now, if you haven't watched the rest of the series, I'm going to encourage you to go back and do that. I'm going to leave a little link up in the description or up in the video here where you can click on it. It'll take you back to the first video in the series, and you can start from there. For everybody else, let's go ahead and jump in. So as you know, we built this little AI agent that sits on our website and can answer all kinds of questions about products or services or anything else that we want our agent to be able to talk to prospective clients about. And this is the agent that we built. And what we got to do now is do some stuff inside of the chat agent. The chat node here so that we can get it on the site. So we're going to double click first into our chat node. And if you will remember, we turned this on to make it publicly available so that we could grab the URL here. And now what we want to do is we want to change it from hosted chat to embedded chat. And you're going to notice a lot of stuff disappears down here. Don't worry about that. We can change all of that later. And we don't need to worry about authentication either. So this chat agent only has access to very specific information about product and services and pricing, right? So we don't have any user information in there. There's no account details. There's no bank records or credit cards or anything like that. One of the things that chat agents are very susceptible to right now during the time of this recording is what's called prompt injection. And that's where you can trick an AI agent into going and giving information about your company and about people or credit card information that you really don't want it to have. And so it's not going to be an issue for this build because number one, we haven't given it any of that information. And number two, it's going to sit on the outside of the website, so not behind where it could actually get into anything. But just keep that in mind. If you're trying to do something a little more complex with this, remember you have to have some extra security layers in place, okay? So once we've set it up and to embedded chat, the next thing we need to do is get some instructions. And as I said before, N8N is great about this. You just click on this little here thing, and it's going to take you to a web page where it's going to explain exactly what you need to do to get it onto your site. And if I scroll down here to this CDN embed code, we're just going to grab this code and we're going to copy it. And then somewhere on your website, there is some header and body information. This is typically where you would stick stuff for Google tracking or Facebook tracking, anything like that. If you don't know where that is on your website, then maybe ask an administrator or reach out to whoever built the site for you and ask them where you would find that information. Where we want to stick this is actually in the body section of the website. That way it shows up on every page of our website, okay? So again, for me and my business and the page that I built here, I used a website called Systemi. And Systemi is a lot like ClickFunnels. If you know about ClickFunnels, it helps you create sales funnels and sales pages and all kinds of stuff. And I built that in here. And where I find that on my site is under the settings under sales funnels, and it has all these UTM parameters and tracking codes. And I'm just going to, as you can see, I've got some Facebook script here. I've got some Google scripts and stuff. What we're going to do is we're just going to paste that code right down there in the bottom. And you see where it says your webhook URL right here? That's where we want to go and grab this chat URL. And we're going to copy that and we're going to bring it back in to our website, and we're just going to replace that. So boom, now we've got that in place. And if I come back here, if I click save, and I come back here to my website and I just refresh my site, what you're going to see is, the color changed, but we know that it worked because we've got our little like chat button here at the bottom. Now, if I click on it, you're going to see it looks kind of ugly. Doesn't really match the colors of my website, and I don't like this font. I hate this sort of, I don't know if you call it sans serif or serif, but it's the one that has the hooks on the end of all the letters. That's harder to read online. I don't like this up here either. I like start a chat. We're here to help 24/7, but basically this doesn't match my color scheme. Well, good thing is, or the nice thing about this is, if we come back into our notes and we scroll down here a little bit farther, you're going to see that there are a ton of options here that we can use to customize our agent. So here's all the different things, the primary colors, the secondary colors, the spacing, all of this stuff in here we can modify. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do next. But first thing we got to do is we got to go and find the colors on our website that we want the chat to recognize. And so there are a couple of different ways that you can do that. Number one, if you can get into your back office and see what the color is, you can just sort of pick out what's called a hex code. It's a numbered code. If not, I have this little app on this little ColorZilla plugin for Chrome that sits on my website, and I think we can probably just find it. Let's see. So here's the ColorZilla picker for Chrome web browsers, right? Now I'm currently on the Comet browser, but it uses Chrome, and so we can use all of these for that as well. So it's already installed, but if it's not installed on your browser, go ahead and just install it. And then what we can do is come back to our site. We can click on this little like dropper icon, and we can pick color from page, and then I just hover over the color. And the cool thing about it is it now gives me that hex code. So if I look at the panel here, I can see it's F8 or F488C. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to drop it on my other page where I have my notes open, and I'm just going to drop that color in there. And I think that's the only color I want to change. I think this is all fine. We'll change the color up here, and we'll change the button color down here. All right. Now, how do we do this? Well, as I said, you're not going to need to know how to code to do any of this stuff inside of this build. What we're going to do instead is we're going to go to ChatGPT, and we're just going to tell it what we want it to do. So I'm going to say, so as you said, I put a chat widget on my site, but I want to change some of the colors and fonts. Then I want to say I've attached two pictures for your reference. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a screen grab here and show them show ChatGPT what it looks like. And if you're on a Mac, it's Command-Shift-4. I have no idea what it is if you're on a PC, because I haven't used a PC in about 2 decades. But we're going to go ahead and grab a screen grab first of the button in the bottom corner. Then we're also going to grab a screen grab of what the entire thing looks like. Okay. Then we're going to come back to ChatGPT, and we're going to upload both of those images. So it now has access to that. And then the last thing we want to do is we want to give it access to this N8N page under customization and tell it, hey, go look here for how to change things. So I'm going to grab this URL. I'm going to come back to ChatGPT. Here is a link with instructions on how to make the changes. And then I'm just going to drop the link in there. And I'm going to say, here are your instructions. 1, change the header color to, and then I'm just going to grab again that hex code number that I have here. And I need to put a little hex in here. Right, there we go. And then we're going to say number 2, change the button color to, and again, we're going to copy this because we want that to be the same color. 3, change the font to, let's just do Arial, because that's a pretty standard font, and that'll probably look good. And number 4, change the header text to, let's just say, we're here to help. We're here to support you 24/7. Let's just try something like that and see what we get back. So it's going to go now, and it's going to read the instructions. It's going to analyze the script and what we need to put in, and then it should go through and change the information. Now, it's made some mistakes here that are showcasing that it didn't really see what I was trying to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and say, no, look under customization, under the customization heading, and see if we can get it to pull out the right thing, because this is not correct. So let's go back and just say, no, this is not correct. My current widget uses this code. And we're going to come back into here, and we're going to grab the code that it gave us, and we're going to paste that in here. I need you to look under the customization header in on this page for instructions on how to change the widget. And then again, we're going to drop that link back in there. So where is that at? Right here. Okay, so that took a hot minute. That took maybe, 30 seconds or so for it to sort of research and figure it out. And this looks closer to what we want. Now, again, I don't know how to code, so this looks more like what it should look like. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to come back over into my scripts here. I'm going to highlight the previous widget script that we had, and I'm going to paste in the new one. And I'm going to click Save again, and come back to our web page and click refresh. And okay, we got it half there. Okay, so the hover color isn't changing down here in the bottom right, but we have the regular color, the button color is the orange that we want. And then if we open it up, it has changed all of this information. And here we may want to remove the powered by innate in. And then maybe we want to bold this up here and remove the subheading. And the way that we do that, I'm not going to bore you guys with going back and forth with it. You kind of get the idea. If we want to do that, we just come back to ChatGPT and we just say, hey, I want you to remove the powered by innate in at the bottom. I want you to bold the heading and then remove the subheading. And then go a little back and forth with ChatGPT until you get something that you really like. And then again, once you've got it on your website, take the time to go back and then test again and again. Continue to test and retest to make sure that the app and the AI agent is performing as expected. Nothing should change from moving it off of innate in and onto a website. But again, the more time you spend iterating, the more time you spend improving your prompt and doing some prompt engineering, the better that agent is going to respond, and the more likely you're going to be to get a lead or a sale coming from the site. But I hope you've really enjoyed this series. I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to leave me a comment and tell me what you think and what else would you like to build, because I'm always looking for cool projects to work on to show you guys. So let me know that. And again, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.